Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your definitely favorite, most watched podcast of all time, Combat Sports Report Pod. But I'm your host, Alan, with your boy, Simkai. That's him right there.
Yes,
All
sir.
sexy as hell. Um,
No, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have to call our boy over here the sexy one because of his new cut.
I'll take it. Shit, the beard disappeared. No, my hair is patchy. I'm becoming a dad by the day. All right, let's get right into it. We already covered our reaction to UFC 313. You guys want to see that? Watch our previous episode. Today, we're going to be talking about this upcoming UFC event, and I think we're going to be doing it like this going forward. So, fight night, we got an exciting one. Main event is we got Marvin Vettori taking on Roman Dolidze for the second time, right?
Rematch.
Rematch. Very
Originally
interesting.
a three-rounder.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good fight. Pretty good main card. Nothing to gawk at. The prelims are kind of prospect building. It's one of those
Yeah.
prospect building prelim cards. So we're only gonna talk about a couple fights
We're
there
gonna focus on the fights that you
that
guys are gonna
matter.
probably want to
That
see.
matter to you. We're
Well, you know what
focused
I
on what
have to say
matters to
though, Alan,
you. What?
about getting back to the main event? I mean, it's actually a crazy statistic that I saw, but Roman Dolidze, Marvin Vettori, 41 fights, none of them have been finished by submission or knockout.
That's crazy. You want to hear
Yeah,
another record? You want to hear another record?
yeah.
Marvin Vettori is the only UFC fighter in history to be pictured putting on his shorts backwards twice.
Yo, that's
Twice.
hilarious.
He
I
did
forgot
it this
about
time
that.
too. He did it this week in white trunks.
Yeah,
He
I
did
don't
it
know why.
again.
He did it again. Maybe he did it on purpose though.
Bro, my boy's brain is CTE soup. It's
Yeah, but
okay. We don't judge, we don't discriminate. God knows
I
we've
mean,
been hit
I'm
in the
gonna be
head.
straight with you, Alan.
So
I kind of got Roman Dolidze in this one.
I wholeheartedly agree with you. Why do you see this fight going towards
Well, I
Mr.
mean,
Dolidze?
Roman, he's a dynamic guy. I mean, he's gotten really crazy finishes. He's been in some wild fights. I mean, I, I people forget about this, but he actually moved up to light heavyweight and beat Anthony Smith and became ranked in two weight classes. So,
He's just doing side quests for fun.
yeah. So like, I mean, he did get a decision loss to Imavov, but that was a crazy fight.
Yo, anyone who loses to Imavov, don't even sweat it.
Yeah.
Imavov is a future champion
Roman
in my
Dolidze
eyes.
is a future champion in my opinion.
I don't know if the Lisa gets past Imavov. Imavov is just fucking dirty,
Yeah.
bro. He is a sniper. His defense, in terms of his striking, solid. His offensive grappling, solid. Only area he's got to really work on is his defensive grappling, I think. But it's not his fight week, it's Roman Dolidze's. I'm picking Roman Dolidze also, but for an entire different slate of reasons. We first had Ilya Taporia. We have Merab Dvalishvili. And now we have the third surging Georgian in the UFC. His name is Roman
That's
Dolidze.
yeah.
Those grappling credentials, serious. You saw what
Yeah,
he
I
did to the
think
resident grappler in the middleweight rankings to what's Jack Hermanson. You saw what he did to him? Calf
yeah, that was
slicer,
crazy.
ground and pound finish. I've never seen shit like that even in the training room.
Yeah. I think that the only thing that I'm gonna say is it's because of that statistic, it's gonna go all 5 rounds. I really think it's gonna go all 5 rounds. I think that they're both killers. So I feel like I don't think we're gonna see a finish in that. That's just my opinion. I think it's gonna go all 5 rounds.
I think it's very difficult to imagine Vittori getting finished. I really do.
Yeah, and it's the
Um,
same with Roman for me. I can't see Vettori
yeah.
finishing Roman, to be honest.
Yeah, that being said, I think who wins in the grappling? Roman. Who wins in the striking? I think Roman's boxing is a little bit crisper. But Vittori's boxing is not bad. I think his grappling is a little bit weaker than Roman's, but that's That's okay. The people pay to see striking anyway. It's all right. We'll forgive that.
You know,
Okay, what's up?
no, no, I think, well, we were going to move to the next one, or
Hell yeah! Next fight on the card is okay. Before I introduce him, I have to say he got popped for steroids before. This is true. But that doesn't change my opinion that he is one of the most criminally underrated fighters on the UFC roster. I've been saying it from the jump. His name is Eliseo Zaleski dos Santos, EZDS. This man is a fucking butcher. You know who he beat with a spinning wheel kick?
who?
Sean motherfucking Strickland.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. He is fighting Chidi Njokuani. Chidi's brother used to be in the UFC. He left. Now Chidi's here. Chidi's making waves in middleweight, but this fight is happening at welterweight. I thought it was a catchweight. No, it's at welterweight. What do
Yeah,
you
I
think?
think that one is definitely ending in a KO.
I think it's fight of the night already before it even happened.
I also think that as well. But
Nice.
I do have another contender, but we'll get to that later.
Another contender for the
For fight
welterweight
of the
title.
night. But we'll
Oh,
get to that
oh,
later.
oh. I have a feeling I know who it is, but it's okay. But yeah, EZDS, I think he is like the dark horse of the UFC. Him and Ludovit Klein are two of the most slept on fighters
Yeah,
in the
little bit
UFC.
climb for sure.
Two of the most slept on fighters in the UFC, bar none. There's very few fighters that you can even throw in there with them. EZDS, let's just go over some of his wins, right? EZDS has a win over Zachary Scroggin, okay. Randy Brown. He had
Definitively.
a draw against Rinat Fakhretdinov. He beat Abubakar Nurmagomedov. He beat Benoit Saint-Denis. He battered him in Benoit's debut. He lost to Muslim Salikov. He beat Alexei Kunchenko. He he lost to Li Jingliang. He beat Curtis Millender, who we're going to talk about a little bit
Yeah,
later. He beat Luigi Vendramini. He beat Sean Strickland. He beat Max Griffin. He beat Lyman Good. Um,
yeah.
he
I mean,
beat
I think it's
Omari Akhmedov. He beat Keita Nakamura. Dude, I think his resume speaks for itself, and I think people
yeah,
don't talk about him nearly enough.
there's a reason why he's the co-main. I perfectly agree with you. I perfectly agree with you. You know what? You know what? Actually, though, like in addition to that, something that really caught my eye, and
What caught your eye?
the next fight,
Which is
Alexander, the Great Hernandez versus
mm,
the tough lightweight winner, Kurt Holloway. I really am gonna enjoy this one. I
it's gonna
mean,
be a fun fight.
both are have been in wars before. I mean, it's this is a fight of the night too. I mean, I wouldn't say more than the co-main, but I would say that it has potential.
Got potential for sure.
I mean,
I'm riding with Kurt to win this.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I don't know though. Hernandez is 32, Kurt is 38.
True.
Usually, if there's that big of an age difference, the younger guy wins.
Uh,
But we've seen Kurt Hollabaugh have like a
Glover
career
Teixeira.
resurgence. Glover Teixeira is true. Jan Blachowicz, who beat
Yeah,
Glover,
don't count him out, Alan.
or vice versa. Sorry.
I
Yeah,
mean, he won tough. That's like it says, tough.
yeah, yeah. He had a career resurgence, and that's very admirable. But also, he's a good fighter, especially on the feet. Hernandez likes to shoot when he gets scared on the feet, and I think we're going to see some shooting from him
Yeah,
pretty
I think
early
so
on.
too.
Um,
Uh,
Hernandez doesn't have the best striking, but I feel like he thinks he does,
he thinks he
and
does, but the
just in
first
like how he acts and how he fights. But that's why he gets clipped a lot. That's why he gets fucked up. No
we all
disrespect to
remember the
him.
Donald Cerrone fight.
Yeah, he talked mad shit, and then he got clipped with a couple of Cerrone, like vintage Cerrone combos. However, this is a different man, older. wiser, more experienced. He knows how to win fights. He does. He's been in the UFC for a while now. I wonder how many fights he's had in the UFC. I'm not going to look that up right now, but he's been in here for quite some time. So I think he's more than capable of beating Kurt Holobaugh. Do I think he wins? No, because I think he gets in his own way sometimes, and I think that's going to happen again in this fight.
Yeah, I agree. I think we
Mike,
got,
drop.
but this fight, I'm not really like too crazy about this fight. I mean,
That's
the
because
next
you're
one.
mentally insane.
Well, no, I mean, I am. I love all the fights, but I don't really know too much about DR Nurzogay. Gazay? Yeah.
That's because you're skipping a fight.
Oh, wait. Oh, I thought that was before the other one.
Damon Blackshear
Oh, yeah.
versus
We can't
Cody
forget about
Gibson.
that one. Sorry, folks. I thought that was actually the fight before. But yes,
Yeah, it's
Damon Blackshear and Cody Gibson.
gonna be a fun fight. I think Damon Blackshear wins. I think Cody Gibson puts on a hell of a performance, and I think he walks away with the decision L.
I can see that, honestly.
What do you think?
Damon Blackshear is a fucking beast. I think he's going to win.
I agree
I'm
with you.
sorry, Alan, but I think he might even finish Cody.
Why are you saying sorry? I'm agreeing with you. The fuck? What did I do? What did you do? No, I agree with you. I think he could finish Cody. I don't think he does. I think he plays it safe and he gets a decision win. Because
Okay.
Cody Gibson is tough.
Cody Gibson is tough.
Hell yeah. Next fight, back to what you were saying. DR Nurgazai versus Brendan Ribeiro.
Yeah, I think Brenson probably is going to get finished. I mean, it's not just because of that the other guy's like 10 and 0, but I mean, he's gotten like slept by a couple of people. I mean, the Roman Kopylov knockout, I don't know how you come back from that one. So
You don't.
you don't. So I'm kind of I have to ride with a newbie here. I think he's making his debut.
Oh my God, we forgot. He got knocked out by Zhang Mingyang.
Oh
Mingyang
yeah, that was
too.
pretty bad. That yeah, that
Then he
yeah.
got wrestle fucked by Magomed Gaji Yasulov.
Yeah.
No, he got leg kicked and a whole bunch of stuff. He got decision basically. Then he won
Yeah.
his first win in the UFC was against Kyle Machado. So I'm pretty sure he's like like 1-3, 3 losses, 1 win in the
Yeah.
UFC, something
And
along those lines.
and the guy he beat and the guy he's fighting knocked his opponent out in the second round in DCWS.
Which opponent did which opponent did DR
Bartosz
knock out?
Wetchik.
Interesting. Interesting. I say interesting way too much.
And that guy was apparently a knockout artist too, so he knocked out a knockout artist. Oh, wait.
He beat
Apparently,
Emiliano Sordi,
yeah,
bro.
that's what I was about to say. He also beat Emiliano Sordi. So that's not, and he knocked him out of the first round.
He beat a guy named Magomed Magomedov.
There's like a lot of those.
There's one who's like one of the best what is he,
Bantamweights,
bantamweights in the world in Bellator right now.
PFL or tour, but yeah.
PF get fucked the tour.
But yeah, I
Uh
mean, that one's
yep.
gonna be an interesting one, Alan. But
Mhm.
I
I'm
want to
excited
point
for
you
that
to
one.
the,
That one definitely ends in a knockout.
no, for sure. I want to point you to the main card opener though, because
Please point me that direction.
yes, so we all know the Sung Woo Choi. This man, he always puts it out all on the line.
Before we go any further. Prospect of the week. I'll let you get it. I'll let you get this one. This is
UFC
the other
fighter of the
half.
week.
Yeah, well, I guess he's a UFC fighter slash prospect of the week. His name his name rhymes with Mevin Callejo's.
Kevin Vallejos.
This dude is a fucking monster.
Yeah,
His
I've seen
only loss, you know who his only loss is to?
Who?
Jean Silva by decision.
Oh, yeah.
He's like
Oh
the only
God, yeah.
person to not get finished by Jean Silva.
Yeah,
And
that's
this
pretty
was
impressive.
that's the
So,
yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah, dude.
you can't look past Sung Woo Choi. That guy has definitely put on a couple of clinics in his time here.
I don't know
So,
about clinics, but he's had some interesting fights, like against the what's his name? Mike Trizano.
yeah, who's not
Who's
even in
also
the
not
UFC anymore.
yeah. That
Kind
was
of
what, a
crazy.
draw?
No, he got knocked out.
Trizano won, right?
Yeah, Trizano knocked him out and he got cut.
I don't know why, but I thought that was a draw for like half a second.
But yeah, I think like you, Kevin Vallejos probably finishes him. Uh so I think for that one, I mean, look at the odds anyway. He's a net minus 725 favorite. So
Minus
folks,
725 favorite.
yeah, so folks, if you want your lock of the night, probably that.
Yeah, but we can't give them a lock that's minus seven something.
True, true.
That's like disgusting odds. But
Okay, so
whatever. All right, featured prelim.
I want to let you get
Oh,
this one.
okay. We're not going to go too deep into the prelims because most of them are female fights. And like, no disrespect there because I love a lot of female fights,
Yeah,
but these are not particularly like entertaining ones.
yeah.
So we're just gonna skip over most of them. If we got some interesting female fighters like Fatima Klein, if we got somebody like I don't know Wei Li Zhang, Aaron Blanchfield, we'll go into that. But other than that, like I don't think there's a point. Anyway, featured prelim is gonna be Waldo Cortez Acosta and Mr. Simkai. Who's he taking on?
Ryan Superman Spawn.
And what weight class is this fight happening at?
Heavyweight. Folks, this
Mm,
is Ryan Spawn's heavyweight debut in the UFC.
yeah, Ryan
I don't know about
Spann.
you,
Mm,
Alan. I don't know about you, but what he did to Dominic Reyes, man. Jesus Christ.
that was bad.
That was crazy. And I think, in my honest opinion, I mean that I think that power moves up with him, but in that same
Easily.
but in that same respect though, Waldo oh my God, Cortez Acosta is no joke. I mean, he beat Robelis de Spania.
He beat Robellis because Robellis has a more or less straightforward game plan to being beaten by heavyweights. You have to wrestle. Bellis is a dynamic striker. You wrestle with the strikers, you give them a hard time, put them where they're uncomfortable. Thing about Ryan Spann is he has submissions, he has knockouts, he can wrestle. He definitely has the power to move up to heavyweight. That knockout that he got Dominic Reyes with was frightening. Like
Yeah, that was
Reyes
very
was out for
frightening.
several minutes after that.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah. So I think he beats Waldo. I think he beats him by decision because I don't think he wants to play these games and test getting clipped at heavyweight. I think he's gonna play it safe, be pretty cautious. And then I think, sorry, I think he goes in for the kill,
Yeah,
but doesn't execute. I think he
perhaps.
gets close, but I don't think he does.
I can see that as well. It's definitely going to be a good fight. I mean, it's definitely
Mhm.
one you guys should definitely look out for.
Hundo P. And
So
so
the
there's
la
that one, and then there's you want to tell us about our last prelim fight that we're gonna go into?
Sure, would love to. So in this one, we got an undefeated young bantamweight, Josias Musasa from the Democratic Republic of Congo. He
Shout out to Congo.
Shout out to the Congo. He on the Contender Series won by split decision actually. So, but the performance he put on was enough to get the bosses okay. So I'm very excited to see how he does in his debut.
He's also the
And he's
first fighter from the Congo in the UFC.
yeah, that's also something that I didn't think about. But yeah, but also
Mm.
he's facing one of two Ecuadorian bantamweights. And they also have the same last name, funny enough. Uh, because Marlon Vera is one, but the other one is Carlos Vera. Don't know if they're
Marlon's
related, but
Marlon's little but slightly less successful brother. They're not
yeah,
actually related.
Carlos, he's been on a tear in Fury fighting championship. He's gotten a couple of submissions. He lost his debut though by decision against Rinya Nakamura, who just lost to Joshua Van. So I think Hosea gets this one.
I think so too. I think Josiah has a lot of power in his hands. I think he gets it done. I think
Yeah,
it's a knockout. I think Vera likes to be on the ground. He likes to try to pull you into his guard. He likes to do all the kinds of crazy jujitsu stuff on the ground. I'm not saying jujitsu stuff as like a negative thing, but he loves to grapple.
yeah.
Um, Josiah is not like that. He likes to stand and bang, and I don't think Vera has the chin to stand and bang with him. So I think more than likely Josiah's by knockout. Slight chance Vera by submission. I'd sprinkle a little bit on
I like
Vera by
those odds.
submission.
I like those
Yeah.
odds.
Yeah, man. Okay, so that basically concludes the card, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, and Alan, I
Mm,
kind of want to just jump on this right away, but
mm.
UFC news, this is the first thing I'm going to be talking about. But UFC Des Moines, we got Corey Sanhagen and Devson Figueiredo in a top five tilt. Sanhagen number four, the Devson number five, and then the co-main event, we get Bo Nickel versus Reiner de Ritter, and that's not even the icing on the cake. We got Jeremy Stevens back in the octagon, and he's fighting former Cage Warriors double champion. We're gonna get to Cage Warriors later. Mason
Mason Jones.
Jones. This,
Dude, I'm more excited for that fight than any other fight on
yeah,
that
me
card.
too, honestly. I think
And that's
that's
saying
the
a
fight of the
lot.
night. That's the fight of the night, I think.
Dude, Jeremy Stevens just beat what's his name?
Eddie.
Eddie Alvarez in bare knuckle boxing. And now he's back in the UFC with that. He's past 35. He has to be at least 35, right?
Yeah, he's a killer. So
Mason Jones goes back to Cage Warriors after UFC, wins a bunch of fights there, comes back, now fighting Jeremy fucking Stevens. Are you kidding me? Sign me up
yeah,
all
that's kind
day
of
for this
crazy.
fight.
I mean, I would say for that fight, Mason Jones, man. I mean, I can't not go with Mason Jones here. I feel like Jeremy Stevens is good, but bare knuckle boxing, this is the UFC. Yep. I mean, and Jeremy Stevens will probably most likely stay on the feet. And if I was Mason Jones, I would probably take him down and try to submit him. So I would
I
have to be
think I
riding.
think I think Jeremy knows that's the game plan for Mason Jones. What do you
Folks,
think it is?
I think Mason could get it by submission. What do you think?
I think Jeremy Stevens by knockout.
Folks, when me and Alan disagree, you know you have to watch the fight.
Yeah, folks.
That is a clear indication. And I mean, Alan, the co-main event.
The co-main event of this
That's like
card.
that's like a
In Des
main
Moines,
event, honestly,
Iowa.
in my opinion.
It could be a fight night main event. Considering the fact that it's in front of people, I think they wanted to throw some extra heat on there. So
Yeah.
I like Sanhagen versus Figueiredo as the main event. That fight is probably going to be for the next bantamweight uh contender. I
Yeah,
think the
I think so
next
too.
person to get the shot after
Well, if
well actually no. Maybe winner of this fight fights Manel Kape for a title shot. Oh,
Manel
sorry,
Cup
Manel Cops flyweight. Never
flyweight.
mind. What the fuck am I saying? No, I think at this weight class, it's either Sandhagen or Figueiredo after what they've done.
Actually, the only thing I would say is that if actually no, Piotr Jan
Oh,
beat both of them, so he's next. And Piotr
yeah,
Jan
but he only
just
has
beat
one
Devson.
win.
But Piotr Jan beat Corey for the interim title, and he
Mhm.
beat Devson literally in Macau.
Okay,
So
but when did he beat Corey?
maybe like 2 years ago. I mean, maybe
Time's passed.
okay. So you just gave it to me right there. If Corey wins, he fights Piotr Jan in a rematch next,
Okay, I like it.
and then
But I feel bad for Corey, man. Corey always he's right there. He never
yeah, I
gets that
know.
shot.
I
I
mean,
feel so bad for him.
yeah, I definitely do. Yeah, that kind of does suck. I mean, Corey, but I mean, look at Justin Gaethje, like, and Corey trains with him. Corey knows he has to wait. He's gonna have to wait a little bit, but he's patiently climbing.
If he beats Figgy, I think he's next.
I think he might be next too, honestly. Because
They have to.
If Marab beats, and I'm pretty sure it's circulating that Marab is going to rematch Sean O'Malley,
O'Malley.
I think Marab beats him. So I think what will happen next is probably Marab versus Sandhagen. Because Marab already beat Piotr Jan, so he probably would want to fight someone. They would probably want him to fight someone new.
If what happens,
Well, if Sandhagen beats Devson,
I guess I could. Yeah, I guess. So Morale. So okay, Sanhagen beats Figueiredo. Sanhagen fights for belt. Sanhagen wins. He lets Piotr Jan challenge first.
yep, I like that.
I fucks with it. I fucks with it. The co-main event of that card: Bo Nickel versus Reinier de Ridder. That fight is not going out of the first round.
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe second. Maybe.
The grappling, man, I can't wait for that. That's gonna be insane. They're just gonna.
Yes.
I
Sucks you
don't
don't
even know
do
what's gonna.
jujitsu
I
though,
don't
because you're
even.
not gonna understand most of it.
We.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to understand grappling, fucking take a jujitsu class, please. If you take one thing away from this podcast, try jujitsu. I got my roommate to start doing it. He fucking loves it.
Yo, but Alan. So I do want to get to this, but we'll get to Cage Fury first before Cage Warriors. But the only thing I want to talk about with Cage Fury is the main event, and you mentioned it before briefly. So I want you to take it from here for that.
Curtis Millender is taking on Yaroslav Amosov, bro. Amosov is the former welterweight champion in Bellator. I have no, I think this is just my conception that the reason Amosov is fighting in it's LFA, right?
No, it's Cage Fury.
Cage Fury, thank you. The reason Amosov is fighting in Cage Fury, the reason he's not in PFL anymore, he's done with PFL. He wants to in on the UFC. He hopped onto the UFC Fight Pass on a card that's showed on Fight Pass. If he wins, which
Yeah.
I think he wins this fight, I think he's going to the UFC.
Oh, 100%. Either that,
Before summertime. I think his UFC debut is before International Fight Week.
I also agree with this. I Curtis Millender is a veteran, but he does not stand a chance.
Dude, the grappling pedigree of Amosov is insane. Now, no shade to Millender. Millender's been around the block. He's fought everybody. He's fought the who's who. Do I think that he can grapple with Yaroslav Amosov? Fuck no. Fuck, like,
Yeah, it's not
period,
happening.
point blank. Amosov is the real fucking deal. I think he gets it done. I think he submits Curtis Millender rounds 2 or 3.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. There's
Disagree with me. Make it fun for me. Let me fight, bro. Just let me bang.
Julian Lane there, buddy.
Yeah, something like that. Do we got any other fight cards to cover
Yeah,
on
I
Fight
definitely do
Pass?
want to get I want to get into two things briefly before we close it off with con rising prospect of the week. But who's actually going to be mentioned in this? Well, actually, you know what? I'll just say it now. Luke Riley is my prospect of the week.
I like it.
10-0, and he got the shout out from Dana White posted about him. Dana White posted about this guy.
Luke
And
Riley is going to be in the Contender Series
Luke
this summer
Riley, no, he might
if he
even get a
wins.
pass. He might even get a pass right to the UFC if he wins
Yeah.
against, and he has a tough challenge. He's fighting Tariel Abbasov. That
Terriel
is
is no joke. Terriel, I think winner of this goes to the UFC.
me too.
Terriel trains with with Nazim.
Yeah, Tariel's a monster. I mean, that's a great main event. That's on Saturday.
Hmm
So, but actually, with Cage Warriors, Alan,
Mm.
we're getting two this weekend. So one tomorrow. And I wanted to give him a shout out as well because he's the main event. He was actually just moved to the main event. Anthony Orozco. Shout out to him. He actually follows the page. Um,
Anthony Orozco. Tell us a little
so
bit about him.
yeah, so Anthony, he's from San Diego. He's been with Cage Warriors. They have like a MMA fighting academy where they train prospects from the area. And yeah, he's picked up a many impressive wins, and now he's been thrusted into the main event spotlight. So I highly recommend everyone watching that. He's a very dynamic fighter. So,
Got the Simkai stamp of approval. Nice. So that's your prospect of the week.
my prospect of the week is Luke Riley, who's going to be main eventing on Saturday. And like you said, whoever wins that fight goes to the UFC. So, honestly, folks,
So you got
like,
two prospects of the week.
yeah,
I need a second one. I gotta come up with a second one. Shit. Whatever. I'll think about it later. I'll think about it later.
but yeah,
Got me with the sneaky.
two fights out of the UFC, I think everyone here should pay attention. Tar Abbasov versus Luke Riley and Curtis Millender, Yaroslav Amosov. Tune into those.
And Anthony Orozco's fight. Watch that.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Yeah.
Ooh. Before we go, really quickly, one thing I forgot. Uh, Dirty Boxing 1, DBX 1 popping up. Main event, we got Yoel Romero, Yoel, the Soldier of God, Romero. The people pay, the people pay for the pay-per-view. That dude is fighting. You know who he's fighting?
Tell me.
A 6'5" white Jamaican dude named Ross Hylton. Ross is fire as fuck, actually. I've seen him fight before. He's a good heavyweight.
And
He's
when is this
entertaining.
event?
That's a good question. Let me pull up my trusty friend Google. I don't have that info.
It's not this weekend,
DBX
folks, I'm pretty sure.
people pay. Let me pull it up. Dirty Boxing Championship. And let me see. DBX
March
1,
22nd, next
March
weekend.
22nd, next weekend. Yeah. So just a heads up to everybody, that fight is gonna be must watch. It's gonna be so dope. It's gonna be so sick. They also just signed Andrei Arlovsky. Andrei Arlovsky is fighting on the same card. I forget who he's fighting. I don't think his opponent has that big of a name. I could be wrong, but let's pull this up. DirtyBoxingChampionship.com, DBX1. Um, Yoel Romero versus Ross Hylton.
I don't think
That's
they
the only
announced
fight
his
that they have.
opponent yet.
Yeah, that's the only. No, I think they did on Instagram. Whatever.
Oh,
We can check later. But
okay, one more thing before we cut it out, folks.
what's up?
But I actually just remembered this.
Mm.
You know how we love karate combat here? Well, guess what?
What?
Sam Alvey, heavyweight title, Tyrone Spong.
No fucking way. No, are you kidding me, dude?
I'm not kidding you, bro.
Bro,
I'm
that's a
not
sick
kidding
fight.
you.
Unfortunately for Sam Alvey, I think we have a new karate combat heavyweight
Yep.
champion.
I think we also do, man.
But listen, I could be wrong. I could be a fraud. I could be just a giant huckster,
Yeah.
shilling my opinion for views.
But yeah, that's our main event for
Yeah.
next Karate Combat.
When is that? You know?
Yeah, I believe it might be the end of March, maybe, or at least the
Nice.
beginning of, no, it's Friday, May 2nd, actually. So,
Nice.
and it's in Dubai. I mean, I just gotta say it. Shout out to President Awesome. You're really putting on bangers, man. Like, you are awesome.
Almost like President Awesome is awesome.
Dana Brown, ladies and gentlemen, Dana Brown.
Sir. Yes, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and some guys, thank you so much for joining us. That concludes the what, seventh episode?
Yes.
Seventh episode of Combat Sports Report Pod. That's crazy, bro. That's crazy. We'll be back probably on Sunday to recap Dolize versus Vittori for you guys. Share what we think. Let's hear what you think down below about the matchups that we were talking about. Or just tell us if you fucking have beef with us, if you don't like us, if you want to talk some shit. Our comment section is open. Till
Yeah.
next time. See you
Till
guys.
next time.